Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Historical Humans Reacts. And this time we are talking about a museum exhibition that is not the British Museum.
Yeah.
I
For
feel like we need
Uh,
to
once.
specialize there because this has been rough.
yeah.
Oh no,
So
it's
So
just the other kind of British. Australian.
this was an art exhibition that was recently only open to women until it was um, struck down as being discriminatory because a man was not allowed entry.
yeah. So what happened is Tasmania's Mona, or Museum of Old and New Art, uh, has recently been sued for opening a exhibit on sexism, which only granted admission to women. Uh, a man who wanted entry and was refused proceeded to sue the museum and won.
Over
Uh,
$35, by the way.
yeah.
Y-
The museum has
yeah.
the museum has since received an order that it must allow men into the exhibit for women within 28 days.
Be
This is just an interesting hairball and a half here.
well, so this has so much to unravel here before we even get into the story, right? Because to a certain degree, there is a level of potential discrimination from not allowing men into a space. However, that is about where that ends because as someone who identifies as male, I tend to get into a lot of different places that someone who identifies as female may not feel comfortable or may not get allowed admission to. There's a lot of spaces that become almost exclusively male because they are not safe for women, usually because of the presence of men. Let's be real here. And
Yeah.
this specific art exhibit, which it is important to highlight the fact that it is an art exhibit, one meant to elicit response and elicit emotion, created an exceptionally lavish space that was exclusive to women only. It was a space where women could be both um, have a safe space to go into, a space that is free from potential other discrimination, a space free from predators in a lot of ways. I know it's conflating a lot of the two, but these are genuine, actual concerns. And this basically was meant to give men a a the feeling that a lot of women have had very much throughout history and throughout much of pretty much anywhere where they are not allowed to go anywhere. And this is one of the ways basically um, allowed women to enjoy this space and to enjoy the lavish lifestyle without the inclusion of men. I don't know. It's
Now, now,
uh,
yeah. Now, the legal issue that comes up with this is that um, Australia has a 1998 Anti-Discrimination Act, which specifies that it does not that discrimination cannot be permitted for good faith artistic purposes. Um, which means that you cannot choose to discriminate against a person on the basis of race, gender, sex, age, all those protected classes for the purpose of saying, well, I'm making art. You know, you can't turn around and say, no women in art, no aboriginals in art, no men in art.
So I've
You,
I've looked up the director of the sorry, call I didn't mean to cut you off.
yeah, no, go for
Um,
it.
so I decided to look up the woman in charge of this. Apparently she's had
Oh,
some controversies in the past, like not long after I believe it was Katrina. She bought some she bought five properties that were in like really bad condition in a neighborhood and to like use as like a like the new headquarters for her like art company commission, whatever it is. And she just kind of left them the way they were. She'd made one into like an architectural statement, I guess. And then she moved to Tasmania, but also just left the properties there rotting. And she like the neighbors really did not like this, and they became homes to squatters, and like eventually they were just so like there was no salvaging them, and they had to end up being torn down. So, and she blames it on the recession, but like still, why would
Yeah,
you move all the way to Australia while you still have these property
well,
spaces?
well, it might have been for the job, because the artwork in question here, as named by the CNN article we're using, is was done by artist and museum curator Kersha Kachele. I hope I'm saying that right. Um, and one of the interesting points she made when she was defending it legally was a statement of belief that women deserve both, and I'm quoting her, by the way, women deserve both equal rights and special privileges in the form of unequal rights for a minimum of 300 years. She believes that women deserve supremacy as a form of what's the word, restitution for the historical oppression of women by men. So she is home to a lot of somewhat extreme beliefs on the subject, which, on the one hand, can make very loud and impactful art and improve social change, but on the other hand, lean into instances like this where anti-discriminatory laws that are, you know, designed in large part to help people who are traditionally marginalized not be marginalized end up having to be used to prevent a cycle of abuse.
And
It does. I guess it did. It probably got the reaction she may have like ultimately wanted, which
Yeah.
was like it's a
Mm-hmm.
it's a very it's an easy rage bait kind of content like headliner. Like this was it just feels a little too on the note or intentional to me, where she's which I mean if that was her intention, like to get people to like to get her stuff spotlighted, and draw attention to her and her beliefs, then it worked.
It worked,
Um,
and
it
it is.
so
also it also it plays into this whole idea too, because she's also going for the next level because she's grateful um, for Lau's complaint, and even though the court ruled in Lau's favor, she closed the exhibition rather than open it up,
Yeah.
which also kind of
And
emphasizes the more extreme point of view. I don't know, because it was the
yeah.
point of the article to elicit a negative response. It was to
yeah,
put the person in the shoes that she believes women have faced, and like I said, to a degree, it is very accurate. It is very true. However, it's it bars on very edgy ground because to a degree, not to a degree, it's at the end of the day, women deserve a space that is equally theirs and that they can
yeah,
feel safe and protected in, and this is to give that marginalized group
Mm.
a platform and a place to be.
Yeah. But
yeah.
at the same
I
time,
would,
it seems a little silly to sue over the museum thing, but like, it's also, the point is, discrimination against anyone is kind of discrimination against everyone. And that's where I think the pitfall comes for Miss Cachele there, in that, as harmless of a discrimination as this ultimately was, and as much as it draws a lot of attention to her viewpoint, to her art, to the ultimately social and political statement she's trying to make, it was still technically an act of discrimination. And if the law is working, technically discriminatory counts as discriminatory and gets stopped.
I mean, like I get it.
Yeah.
I get like a little bit of like the guy being like, this is discriminating against me because like but like also at the same time, like I just would have paid the $35. Like if I understood the point of it, I'd just pay the $35. I wouldn't be that mad. Unless it was like just a one room exhibit, then I kind of would have been sad.
Well, and there's also a couple of other facets here. Like, it's obvious that Mr. Lau here was specifically looking for something to get riled up for, because they're not going to sell him a ticket for an exhibition that he's not going to be able to go into. He had to have
Ooh, I wonder if
specifically
this guy's
requested it and specifically tried to get in, and then made the argument that they weren't letting him in after he had purchased. Like, and he felt strongly enough to file a complaint with the Equal Opportunities Tasmania. So it very much feels like it was something of a.
It definitely reeks of people being over dramatic.
Yeah, on both ends of it. Someone looking for a problem and someone looking to elicit a response.
Yeah.
But I think we're beating a dead horse here.
Yeah.
It's an interesting article. Let us know what your thoughts are. Let us know what your opinions are. Fight down
Do you think
below.
women should get unequal rights like in favor of them for the next 300 years?
And as always, this is a prickly topic. There is no clear right and wrong with this, so please be nice in the comment section. I know that's hard for internet land, but I don't want to watch the comment section devolve into a war.
I think
I say
women
give it to
deserve
them.
all of the rights. All of them. And we'll see you in the next one.